Hi, my name is Paula Pritchard, and I'm going to take the next few minutes on helping you get started in your new Jeunesse business. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate you. I think you've made an excellent decision. You couldn't have picked a better company than Jeunesse to actually start to build your own home-based business or financial freedom opportunity. So let me start here with how to launch your business. It's quite easy, and hopefully I can give you some clarification on exactly how this kind of business operates. So first of all, you get registered with the company. And when you get registered with the company, what has happened is that you are now on the computers. You now have a replicating website. You also have a back office, and all of that comes with your registration. Then once you do that, you need to start with a product package. And packages vary in price. They vary as far as what comes with each package. But let me say this, not one size fits all with this particular company. The decision of what package that you get really depends on what your goals are and, of course, what your finances are. But, some people will start this business wanting to focus mainly on the skincare line. Some other people might want to focus on the nutrition line. And many others will be very, very interested in our new cosmetic line. But at the end of the day, my first recommendation is to get as many products as you possibly can. This is your business. So the more products that you use and experience, the more authenticity you will have when you describe each product to other people, because you can say, this is what I felt on this product, or this is what happened to me when I was on this product. So if possible, get as big a package as you can possibly afford, just so that you know what all of the different products do. Then second, you need to get on unconditional auto ship. What do I mean by unconditional? Well, in this particular business, unconditional auto ship gives you 60 commissionable volume points. Each product has a commissionable volume point assignment. So every month you need 60 points. And those 60 points keep you active and qualified so that you're able to earn team commissions and matching bonuses. So when you're on unconditional auto ship, what happens is anything over those 60 points, if you order more than 60 points, it'll be placed in your pay leg. That we have in this business, as you watch the video on how are you paid or how the commissions work, you'll notice that you're building two teams or you're building two legs. Every week you are paid on whichever leg is the lesser volume. That's called your pay leg. So anything that you purchase over 60 points will go down that leg that you're going to be paid on, which is really good. That's why you want to be on unconditional, because that is exactly what happens when you're on unconditional auto ship. Your unused points that you put there, you will get paid on, and any that you're not paid on will start to accumulate. And so you will have carryover. You'll have points in escrow that you'll get paid on at a later date. So you want to be able to accumulate points. And then third, your next goal will be to become an executive. In this diagram, an executive is someone that has done 100 CV points, and they have sponsored one person on their left team and one person on their right team that also has purchased 100 CV points. So when you come into the business, even if you get the basic product package, the least product package you can actually afford in this particular business, the smallest package will have 100 CV points. So even if you got the smallest package and you sponsored A in this picture and you sponsored B, and they also got the smallest product package, that means you would have 100 points, A would have 100 points, B would have 100 points. You then become what's called an executive. So becoming an executive is you sponsor one person on your left, one person on your right. Each have done 100 points, just like you. You become an executive. That's really the first step. That's like the switch goes on in a dark room. The switch goes on, and that means now you are eligible for all of the available commissions. If you notice under A and under B, they also have sponsored 2 people. Well, that brings me to the next slide, which means what you need to do is help your new distributors become executives. So if A sponsors one person on the left and one person on the right, and B does the same, they become executives. So not only are you an executive, but in this particular example, you have developed 2 executives. Then your next step is to continue to sponsor personally. Add people to your business. You do that for various reasons. One, it sets the example because you want to be doing what you want your people to do. You're the beginning of a leader of your business. A leader paves the way. A leader sets the example. So the more people you sponsor, the more people your people will sponsor. The other thing is when you continue to sponsor, you're going to increase the amount of money you make in matching bonuses. You're going to see that and understand it better once you watch our compensation video. But the point here is this. If A and B who come in your business, if they start to sponsor and they're making money and you're helping them, what do they want? They want to make money. What do you want for them? You want them to make money. And as they make money, the company will actually pay you a matching bonus on what they're earning. Not out of their pocket, it comes out of the company's pocket. But the point of it is the more they earn, the more your matching bonus will be. So it really rewards you for rolling up your sleeves and helping your people become successful. So the more people you sponsor personally, the more matching bonuses you're going to have. So that in its own right is a reason to sponsor. And there's also attrition. There's going to be people who come in the business, maybe they have told you they really want to accomplish great things, but whatever happens, life interferes, they get distracted, they fall by the wayside. You never know who the people are that's going to run the distance with you. But if you have enough people on board, you're bound to have quite a number of people that really make it all the way to the finish line with you. So sponsoring personally is really important. So let's look at the next step. The next step should be to get to Sapphire. Become a Sapphire in this business. What is a Sapphire? A Sapphire is someone who not only is an executive, but has helped 12 people become executive. So if you helped A become an executive and you helped B become an executive, then you need 10 more people to help. And what's so nice about that is once you've helped somebody, you know what you're doing. And work with your support team. Your support team is your upline, your sponsor and your sponsor and your sponsor. This is all your support team. This is all your upline. Some of your upline you'll relate to immediately. Some of them, not so much. But you try to find the person in your upline that you can really connect with, and that's the one you want to work with. And that's why there's a variety there to help you. Let's talk about how we're used to earning or how we make money in this kind of business. You're going to hear something called residual income. And I'm going to explain what that is in a minute. But in order to do that, let's look at what you're most familiar with, which is probably linear income. Linear income is like what you get paid as on a job. For example, on a job, you give your time and they give you money. If you don't give them time, they probably won't give you money. So usually it's equal. If you put in 10 hours, you're going to get 10 hours of pay. If you put in a 40-hour week, you're going to get 40 hours worth of pay. That's linear income. That's what we're used to. In our business, network marketing has something called residual income. Residual income is very similar to the income you would make, say, on writing a book, royalty income, or writing a song, royalty income. Whereas you can see, you spend a great deal of time in the beginning making very little money. In fact, if you're writing a song or writing a book, you're probably making very little money, if any. But then eventually, once that song gets out there or that book gets out there and more people buy it or more people listen to the song, all of a sudden you're starting to get royalty income and you're not working at all. All the work was done in the beginning. It's the same with building a franchise. When you're building the building and putting in the foundation and then getting the equipment, hiring the employees, training the employees, doing the advertising. There's a lot you do in the beginning where you're not making any money. And then once the franchise opens, all of a sudden you start to make money. So in the beginning, you're putting in more time than money. If you understand this concept, it's going to help you in the long run understand how network marketing works. In other words, you're building a distribution business that will move a product line. Our product line is anti-aging and youth enhancement products. So, in the beginning, it's just you. You are the distribution. But eventually, as people join you, more and more people are distributing the product. All of a sudden, you're making income off of every one of those products that are moved through an entire distribution force, or as we call it, your organization. But, unless people know that, what happens is many people will quit right here because they're saying, well, I'm used to linear income and I'm putting in all this time, but I'm not getting the equal money. And that's a shame, because if they would just stay the distance or stay the length of time necessary, all of a sudden they would find time and money are equal. And then they would eventually get to a point where they're putting in little time and they're making incredible money. But let me show you a little bit more about how this residual income works. It's based on geometric or exponential growth. Most people understand this from the banking industry. Let me show how it works in the network marketing industry. Let's say that all you ever did, was sponsor 2 people. You sponsor one on your left team, one on your right team, and then you stopped working. You never did another thing. That's all you did. And let's say that those 2 people did exactly the same thing. They just sponsored 2 and never did anything else. That means you'd have 2 on your first level, 4 on your second level, and if they did exactly the same thing, they sponsored 2 people, never did anything beyond that, there'd be 8 people on your third level, there'd be 16 people on your fourth level, 32 on your fifth, 64 on your sixth. And so as you can see, the business grows. If everybody, this is a perfect example. Now, life isn't perfect. Even though this is a perfect scenario, it doesn't always work this way. For example, some people will sponsor 2, some people will sponsor no one, and some people will sponsor 20. Some people will sponsor 30. So it varies with every business and every example. But in this perfect scenario, let me give you an idea of what this would look like. If you add the 64 to the 32, okay, you would have 96 people, then another 16, another 8, and 4, 2. If you added up everyone on this list, you're well over 100, let's say 120 people in your business. Okay, if 120 people in your business just bought one product, or just did 100 CV, that would be 120, that would be 12,200 in CV volume. And all you ever did was sponsor 2. So as you can see, it really starts to add up. But in this example, let's say you have 120 people. So my mathematical mind thought, well, wow, if I just sponsored 4 instead of 2, then instead of 120 people, I'd have 240 people. At least that's how my mathematical mind worked. But I didn't understand geometric growth. Let me show you what happens if you sponsor 4. Instead of having twice the number, in other words, 240 people, you end up with over 5,000 people in your business. That's geometric growth. I've had people say, how does that happen? I'm going to tell you, I don't really know. All I know is it does, and that's how it works. So imagine if you sponsored 6 people, 8 people, 10 people. What kind of a distribution business would you have then? Even if you had 5,000 people and everyone just did 100 CV a month, just getting their own products for their own personal use. That would be what? 500,000 volume, 500,000 commission volume in your business. I mean, that would be unbelievable. So once you understand, if you really understand how this works, you won't sleep at night because you'll start playing with numbers, and the next thing you know, you'll be seeing all kinds of growth happen in your brain. But let's get back to what you do in launching your business. So the first thing I want to tell you is building your team. You need to create a working list of contacts. Some people do this on their computer, on their iPhone, iPad, whatever. I happen to use a tablet, a notebook. And what I did when I first started this kind of business is I listed everyone I knew. Everyone, from the time I was a kid to every job I had, to every neighborhood I lived in, to every university I attended, every organization I belonged to. I just wanted to empty my brain. So I would free up my brain so it could just look at the paper and strategize. But, what I wanted to do is go through that list. And there's going to be people on that list you don't like, people you wouldn't want to work with. But there's going to be people on there that you haven't thought of for a while. And people you knew that, maybe they're in a job they hate. Maybe they're in debt. Maybe they want to move to a different location. Maybe they have a baby on the way and they need a bigger house. But people who want more. People who maybe want to own their own business. But the first people that we end up contacting, usually people we know. Some of the best contacts are referrals. So when someone would give me a referral, I would add it to the list. It was my working list. The most valuable thing I had was this notebook. And I would add referrals. And referrals are great because, they come with credit. They come to you with credibility because somebody's referring them to you. And you could always say to the referral, this is who told me to call you. And then you have their ear. You have instant credibility. Also, as I would meet people, maybe I would meet people at the dry cleaners or at a restaurant or at, different locations that I frequent. I would meet people, or even on social media, you start to make some friends. So, I would organize the list. Maybe, my top 10 people I want to contact, and maybe my second top 10 or my third top 10. And I would work with my sponsor and my uplines to help me distinguish the people I should contact first. And then, I would contact those people on my list. And I would, initially I'd rely on scripts. So I'd try to say the right things or try to say things that I know would get their interest in the business. Try to create curiosity and interest so they want to know about this business. They want to know about an opportunity that could get them out of debt or get them out of a job they hate. I always try to focus on self-interest because I know people are most interested in their own situation or their family situation than anything else. If they're in an unhappy financial situation, that's what's primarily on their mind. If they're in a job they hate, that's primarily on their mind. If they're in debt or can't afford to they're falling behind because of interest on their credit cards, that's on their mind. So, I want to provide a solution. I want to provide a way for them to solve that problem. So, I say here the goal is not to tell them about the business right then, but to invite them to take a look. I try to separate the invitation and the presentation. Why? Because it elevates the presentation. In other words, if I have something that important, it deserves uninterrupted, quality time to go over it. Whether it's on the phone, whether it's on Skype, whether it's face-to-face, whatever. But I try to set aside an uninterrupted time. Uninterrupted means no kids, no phones, no TV, but I have their undivided attention. And then I show the business to them. And I can do it one-on-one. I can do it and I can invite people to my home or to a hotel meeting and do a presentation there. I can even use videos. Technology has made this building a business like this so much simpler because you can send someone a video, you can send them to a website, go over the website with them, whatever it takes. You can invite them to a webinar where the opportunity presentation is taking place, or a conference call. Maybe it's easier for them to call in on a phone and listen intently over the phone. Maybe they work long hours and they're not always in front of a computer, especially in the evening, and maybe that works for them. and I can just say, as you start to do this and you're explaining the business, it helps to have someone help you when you're at the very beginning. Your upline, your sponsor, whoever can help present the business for you, and you tape it, learn it, transcribe what they're saying so you can start to memorize what they're saying and learn how to present it yourself. Then when you present the business, you do what we call a follow-up. You ask them, I usually ask them, what more information do you need to make a decision? And maybe they'll say, well, I'd like to know more about the products, or I'd like to know more about how the money works. But no matter what, if I send them a video or if I go through that explanation, I want, before I end our conversation, I want to set another time to talk. If I'm going to send them some information on the product, I want to say, okay, when do you think you have a chance to look at this? And they say, today or later tonight. And then I'll say, okay, how about if we talk first thing in the morning? I'll set a time to get back with them. I'll set another appointment. The last thing I want you doing is chasing someone. Calling them, getting their voice machine or answering machine. I don't want you chasing anyone. I want you to have set appointments. Don't ever chase anyone, because it does terrible things to your own self-esteem. If they don't have the courtesy to get back with you or set up a time, they're not going to be the kind of person you're going to want to build a business with. Sometimes when you do a follow-up, it's helpful to put your sponsor or your upline on a three-way call and say, hey, let me schedule a time when you can talk to the person who introduced me to the business. They've been in a little bit longer. They can answer more of your questions, but most importantly, they can tell you what they've experienced so far and what's happened to them. And, this is really good. This is third-party documentation. It tends to be very, very powerful. I know people who have built huge businesses merely doing three-way calls and initially, doing them with their upline to help them. So then as they make a decision to join you, you need to enroll that new person. Let your sponsor or your upline help you for the first time to show you how to enroll them and walk you through it so that you can learn it. It's kind of, our business is see, do, teach. In other words, you see it, you do it, and then you teach someone else how to show the business, how to sign people up, how to train people. So this is a see, do, teach business, and your sponsor is there to help you and to teach you so that you can go on and you can teach other people. Your sponsor will also help you with placement and how that process works, whether to how to put someone on the left team or the right team, how to make the decision which team you should consider putting them on. They're going to give you all kinds of guidance. Then there's all kinds of resources to use. Jeunesse, of course, has a wonderful back office. Those are resources that you learn to navigate the back office, understand how it works. J-Mobile is an incredible mobile tool with texting abilities, with different videos to help you show the business by sending a video from your phone to someone else's. There's also opportunity calls and webinars you can plug into where other people are showing the business, and all you have to do is bring your guests to listen in with you, and they do a fantastic job. There's also Google Hangouts with our company. There's monthly corporate calls with the Chief Visionary Officer, Scott Lewis, does a lot of these. There's corporate meetings that you can attend. There's Jeunesse universities. These happen all over the world. And I'm going to tell you, once you attend something like that, the validation is amazing, because you see people who started just like you who have become successful, people who have started to reach their goals, people who are fulfilling their own dreams. And you can see yourself in these people because many of them started just like you. And of course, you're a part of the Global Partners Group. And the Global Partners Group is in over 70 countries. And we have such an amazing team, high integrity, professional people, so that when you build a business in any of the 140 countries, if the Global Partners Group is there, they're going to help your person, they're going to help your team, they're going to embrace them as part of their own family. And so it's a wonderful, high integrity group of people. So you feel very fortunate to be a part of this community. Also, as being a part of the Global Partners Group, we have group coaching calls. We have leadership webinars that take place every Monday. We have our own Facebook pages. We welcome people to the business. We recognize people. It's pretty impressive. And then understand that your greatest assets are your sponsor and your upline support team, because they're there to take you every step of the way, to walk you through this thing. And this is a business of duplication. So they have no motive to take you off track. Their motive is to keep you on track, to show you exactly how to do it so you don't waste a lot of time, and so that you can start to realize some of your goals and dreams straight away. And their goal, that the more they help you, the more it helps themselves. So it's like goals, moving through the ranks of this business. Take advantage of this and be sure to always be asking for help. And then last of all, understand you start by doing what's necessary and then do what's possible, and then suddenly you're doing the impossible. We've all started as a baby, not knowing what to do exactly, and needing someone to teach us and support us along the way until we could stand on our own feet and help others do the same. And that's what makes this business so rewarding. When I got involved, I really wanted to be able to afford a house. But once I was making the money, I realized the real reward in this business was the freedom. But it wasn't until I helped someone else get their freedom, when I helped someone else get out of a job they hated, when I helped someone else get out of debt. Oh my gosh, it's the most addicting feeling. It's more rewarding than even what happens to yourself. So I want to wish you all the best. Congratulations again for joining us here at Global Partners. And hey, let's get your business off to the right start on the right foot straight away. All right, all the best.